Elizabeth here at the Choir Academy. Thank you for watching. It's raining here in West London. You may hear the pitter patter. I'm here to talk about difficult choir members. Anyone who runs a choir knows you come across a plethora of just different personalities. Some that you're going to completely love and some that you're going to find trying, difficult, annoying. All of the above. So I want to talk about the strategies that I use that have helped me over the years. I've become more confident as a choir leader over the last 12 years. Initially, I found this very difficult. I'm quite a people pleaser, so I don't like people to not be happy with what I'm providing or what I'm doing, but some people are never going to be happy with what you're doing. And there are lots of different reasons that members can be difficult. I'd love to hear your strategies, so maybe later I can update this and add some strategies that I'm not using, because let's be honest, we all need to help each other in these situations. Before I respond to someone's question, behaviour, outburst, I think for a second, okay, is this person just a know-it-all member that will pick you up on anything? You miss a beat, you sing the wrong notes, you say the wrong lyric, and there will be your members that will always pick you up on it. All right, and they just are that person. They were that person at school, they are that person in life. I'll go, okay, Teresa, you're right. I said the, and it should have been and. Well done. I'm a sarcastic person. I will do this sometimes. If it's appropriate, the person has a good sense of humour. You got me. Or I will try to take it lightheartedly if it's that person. They want it to be right because they really care about the choir. It's irritating as a leader, but, you know, it's not the end of the world. Secondly, I think, okay, am I wrong? Are they picking up something? Actually, I've done something wrong here and I need to just be like, hands up. I've sung the wrong part, saying the wrong bar. Now I tend to just go, oh yeah, you're right. I'm human. I made a mistake. Thanks for pointing it out. Let's just correct it. Because I am human, and when you're teaching 4 parts and you have to learn them all, your brain sometimes poof. And if it is a rude person and they're doing something unnecessary and they're crossing a boundary, then that null and voids whether I'm wrong or whether they're a know-it-all. Irrelevant. Rude, unnecessary behaviour, not acceptable. Sounds harsh, doesn't it? But some people need to be put in their place. So secondly, what I do during this time, I take a deep breath, I smile, and I allow there to be a little pause, regardless to whoever this is, because if it's the know-it-all, it lets them know that you're taking a second to think about what they said. If you're wrong, it gives you a chance to decide what have I done wrong and how can I fix it. And if they're rude, often it allows for quite an uneasy moment in the choir, because the rest of the choir will not find that acceptable. And then say to yourself, is this the right time to be bringing this up? If the know-it-all's bringing it up, there's stuff going on, say, okay, yeah, I get that. I'll come back and talk to me about that later. Talk to me in the break, but not right now. I'm dealing with something else. If you're wrong, again, you might be just like, okay, I am wrong. I can't relearn this part now. It's fine to say, yeah, fair enough. I'm going to sort that out. I'll sort it out for next week. If it's someone who's being rude and unnecessary, you can, by all means, say to the rest of the choir, okay, everyone, chat amongst yourselves. Susan, come forward. Let's have a chat about this. That can have quite an effect. It can seem like a bit much, but it takes you out of this situation of possibly being chastised by a member in front of the group, which sometimes is what a rude person does want to happen, and you take that power away from them. No, I'll talk to you about this, but we're not having this, interaction in front of everyone, because it's not okay, is it? If it is a rude person, genuinely, you've got someone in your choir, and we do come across these people, seem to have a problem. They join your choir, they don't like how you teach, they're generally unhappy. Most of the time it's not about you. Often I find these people, I like this in many settings, they pay to join groups because they want to, socialise, and they're not having a good time doing that. I mean, the reason that they're not having a good time is because they're rude. And they don't behave appropriately. So it's a cycle really, but it's not about you. So try maybe to have, I try this, but it's hard sometimes, a little bit of empathy and think there's something else going on. It doesn't make it okay, but there's something else going on, so just step back a little. Sometimes if someone's a little bit rude and snippy with me, I will take it, allow for the pause and the rest of the choir to generally go, which is what happens. Someone looks at this person and goes, or your choir will defend you. which is always lovely, isn't it? Next time they come to rehearsal, I'd like to give people a chance. I will go straight up to that person as they come in and say, "Hi, how are you? How are you getting on?" And just give them some eye contact, one-to-one attention. Sometimes that person will, I've found, respond in a way that's like, oh, this is good, that's good. And then try to make a bit of eye contact in the rehearsal. You don't have to do this all the time. I generally just do it once. And I've found many times this will settle a person down and calm them down. It's almost as if they have to be heard. And if they're heard, they can relax. I kind of attention bomb them for a rehearsal. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know if anyone's experienced having had someone in the choir sat there giving you the daggers. And you smile and they're kind of not happy with something, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. So what I've done to keep my sanity, and I overwhelmingly have lovely, lovely choir members, but you do this for so long and you realise you're always going to have someone in the choir who's a bit snippy, who's going to pick you up. They may be a fabulous singer, they may not be. You can never tell what these people are going to be like. If I have someone who is a consistent moaner, so they come up to me every week, the shared drive's not working, I didn't get a copy of that, I wasn't here last week, so can you redo what you did last week? I will try my very best to say, okay, I hear what you're saying. I don't, if there's no resolution, I don't offer a resolution. If they carry on, I will go, okay, I've got to get back now because I've got the rest of the choir to deal with. We're going to start in a minute. And I just walk away. The first time I did this, my heart was popping out my chest. For me, walking away from someone is like, I don't know, it's really difficult. But I found by doing that, a lot of these people then realise that, they need to take some personal responsibility for their experience. And moaning at you is unnecessary because it's not your fault. So you very much, for me now, I kind of step back a little bit and say, your membership doesn't include privilege of being rude to me or rude to other people. This happens rarely, but I have had to do this, and that's ask someone to leave choir. I had someone join choir who, from the moment they arrived, demanded attention and very, very opinionated. Not that there's nothing wrong with that, but if you have someone walk into your choir and the vibe immediately is, I'm already not 100% happy, then you got to think to yourself, oh, is this the person I want, sat down in front of me? Because you have to work to please people like that. We haven't got the time. I had a lady who came and she was a little bit disruptive and rude to other members because some members told me, and this is the worry, isn't it? Some of my members don't like to bother me with things and didn't tell me about this lady. So they were sat having not a pleasant time at this wonderful weekly rehearsal we have. And this lady was being rude, saying very negative things about what was going on, how she didn't like it, she didn't like what I was doing. When I spoke to her, she was very nice and cordial. As soon as I heard about this stuff, I contacted her and said, you've been discussing with other members how unhappy you are with everything. You've been quite rude to a few of the members. I don't think my choir is suitable for you and you should find another organisation. And I got a few snippy responses back, and then I fully refunded the person for the whole term, even though she'd been there for the half term, and said, wishing you all the best, be gone. And you know what, it's the best decision, because as uncomfortable as that situation was, once it's done, it's over, you move on, and the majority of your choir then actually get that attention. It should not go to people who are being negative and spoil an experience. But unfortunately, when you run a big group, we have to deal with these people, but we absolutely do not have to take any rudeness, abuse, or bad behaviour. Because if you were teaching children, you'd put them outside the classroom, let's be honest. There would be a ramification to the actions. As I tell my 2 small children, there will be consequences. So I hope that was useful. That's just some of my strategies that I use. I'm sure you have lots and lots of strategies yourself, and I'd really love to hear them. I really would.